Okay, so welcome back again to our discussion. No? So this is our second half of our discussion under the maritime law. So last nag-uusapan natin is the public law. So again, the public law refers to the laws governing the exercise of the power by the public authorities, which includes the legal relations between the state and the individuals, or involves the relations between the private citizen or the organization and the government protecting the common interests of the public. So again, ulitin ko lang, for example, if the government creates a rule about paying taxes in which all of us, lahat na nag-earn dito sa ating bansa, is we are all required to pay taxes. And yung taxes na yun ay yung ginagamit natin sa infrastructure, then the projects of the government within the country. So, and if someone refuses to do it or to follow it, public law is involved. So doon gagana yung ating batas sa public law. Then, ang key points to remember, the government, it covers the government versus the people relationship, and it includes also the laws about taxation, public safety, and the constitutional rights. So its goal is to protect the society as a whole. So even if merong money involved, kaya nagkakaroon ng public interest pagdating sa ating government kasi it is a summation na ng ano no ng money coming from the every Filipino na nag-earn dito sa Philippines because of the taxes that we are paying for. So ang nangyayari is, sad to say, not all of the taxes na binabayaran natin is nako-compensate lahat ng mga taxpayers. Kadalasan pa, just for example, no, yung poor piece. Yung nakaka-receive ng mga poor piece is not the one who are not paying the taxes. In which dapat yung mga nakaka-receive dyan, yung mga tao nagbabayad ng tax, yung mga nagbabayad ng buwis, para naman magkaroon ng compensation when it comes to paying the taxes every month, 'di ba? So that is the sad reality in the Philippines, in which we are not uh, being tackled on our government kasi syempre if you're in a government, you want to be the star of the public. So para magkaroon ka ng star quality, star points sa public, is gagawa ka ng proyekto na para makamasa, no, magkaroon ng ano na that you are in a public side. But then again, if you're going to think about the uh, process in which na yung nagko-compensate naman ng perang yun is hindi naman yung mga taxpayers natin, no? So that is the one of the public law in which we are referring into a maritime law. So pagdating naman sa public law, meron tayong subdivision. So subdivision, it is a criminal law. So a criminal law, it is a statutes that defines a conduct prohibited by the government because it is threatens and harms the public safety and welfare, and that establish the punishment to be imposed for the commission of such acts. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng criminal law? So a criminal law is a set of rules made by the government that says that the actions are considered crimes. So meaning these actions are dangerous, harmful, or unfair to the society. So it also tells us that the punishment a person will get if they commit any crimes or those crimes. Just for example, crimes like theft, pagnanakaw, murder, pagpatay, or drug trafficking are all covered by criminal law. So if someone breaks one of these laws, they can be jailed or meron silang fine, may parusa sila. So it's either ma-detain ka or merong parusang ibibigay sa'yo. Then, the key points need to remember with this is first the criminal law. So criminal law means it is a law about crimes and punishment. And it protects the safety and welfare of the public. So the government punishes people who break these laws to maintain order in the society. So kaya naman tayo nagkakaroon ng law to maintain the order or to maintain the safety and the yung pagkakaisa ng bawat tao, the society. So next we have the administrative law. So for our administrative law, it is refers to the body of rules relating to the management of the government. So in which controls the use and the abuse of government power and authority to deals on the grievances that they arisen as a result of the government actions or decisions. So kung di nyo mapapansin, no, ang daming mayaman tao like businessmen who are already have a money. Pero pumapasok pa rin sila sa politics. Just for example, kahit yung ating mga artista, they are enough money but they are entering into politics. Why? Kasi, on my opinion, a money without power is nothing. Kahit sabihin pa natin na limpak-limpak yung pera mo, pero kung wala kang kapangyarihan, walang saysay ang pera mo. Kasi when you are in a government, you have the power. Sir, anong klaseng power? Just for example, no, you have a business, but your business is being uh, disapproved by the government. For example, gusto mo magtayo ng business dito malapit sa plaza. Kahit nasabihin na natin perfect yung business mo, wala silang makikitang mali, tama naman yung gusto, para sa mabuti naman yung business mo, you just want to earn, but the government try to disapprove your business because nakikita nila na may potential yung ano mo, yung business mo. May potential na kumita na malaki. So they're trying to disapprove, and ikaw na wala kang kapangyarihan kundi sumunod sa batas dahil yung government yung nasusunod. So ikaw, iisipin mo, ano ba yung dapat kong gawin para pumayag yung government? So that involves the money. So kaya yung iba, kahit na sabihin na natin na kahit bigyan mo ng bigyan ng pera, hindi pumapayag yung government, it because baka mamaya hindi mo sila kapartido or hindi sila yung binoto mo, 'di ba? May mga gano'n eh. So again, kahit na gaano kadami ang pera mo, kung wala ka namang kapangyarihan, it's nothing, no? So that's ayun yung na pagtanto ko, no? Money without power is nothing. So administrative law, on this part, the administrative law that details or deals with the government runs and make decisions. So it makes sure that the government agencies like the DOH, LTO, or BIR, no, Department of Health, Land Transportation, or the BIR, use their power properly and don't abuse it. So it also helps people to file complaints or ask for help if they feel a government office threatened there unfairly. So ayun yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? Sometimes kasi because you are in the position or ikaw yung nasa administration, so in order for you to keep the rivalry, for example, no? Ikaw yung nasa position ng BIR pero kagalit mo yung kapitbahay mo na magre-renew about their business. Iipitin mo siya. So that runs the administrative law. So for example, if someone believes that the LTO wrongly suspended their driver's license, no, kunyari nagda-drive kayo tapos bigla kayong pinara ng LTO or they're suspended your driver's license, administrative law provides the process that appeal that decision. So doon papasok yung administrative law. Pwede ka mag-appeal. So doon mo malalaman or doon yung pag i-discuss kung ano yung reasons bakit ka isa-suspend and you are not in favor na isuspend ka dahil sa gantong fine because you think na iba yung mali yung ginagawa nila. Just para lang siguro kuhanan ka ng pera. So, key points to remember, administrative law. So, tandaan nyo that the administrative law, it is a rules for how the government agencies work. And it protects people from unfair treatment by the government. And also, it controls and guides how public offices use their power. So, again, pagdating sa mga rules, unfair treatment of the government, and controls and guidelines of the public offices and use their power, diyan papasok ko yung ating administrative law. Next, kung meron tayong administrative law, meron naman tayong constitutional law tsaka taxation law. So first, dito muna tayo sa constitutional law. So for the constitutional law, it is a collection of laws that defines powers, organization, responsibilities of the central and local government of the country, embodied in constitution or made by the principal organs of the government. So constitutional law, it is the law of laws that comes from the constitution. So sa madaling salita, so the constitutional law, the highest law of the land, and it tells us how government is organized. So what the powers and the responsibilities are, and how the rights of the people are being protected. So it applies for both national and local government. So just for example, the 1987 Philippine Constitution, it defines the power of the President, Congress, and the Supreme Court. So that's a constitutional law. Kaya pag minsan naririnig nyo during the proceedings, may naririnig kayong constitutional law of blah blah blah, no? So it is example just what I've said earlier, the 1987 Philippine constitutional law. So key points for you to understand the foundation of all laws, that is the constitutional law, and and also it explains who holds the power and how they should use it and what is the rights of the people that they have. So for the taxation naman, taxation law, it refers to the body of law that rule the imposition and the collection of tariff by the state. So ano ba yung taxation law? So it is set of a rules about the government that collects money from the people and business through taxes. Yung pinag-usapan natin kanina. So this money is used to pay the public services, schools, roads, hospitals, no, yung mga public hospitals natin, public roads and highways, and the public schools. So for example, laws about the income tax or valued added tax, yung mga nakikita natin sa mga binibili natin pagkain, just for example sa grocery or sa mga malls, no, may nakita tayong, or sa mga kinakain natin may mga VAT na nakalagay. So it is customs duties that are part of the taxation of the law. So it explains who needs to pay and how much and how the government collects it. And also the taxation is a government power needed to run the country. Kasi syempre kailangan natin ng pera. Again, walang magtatrabaho kung hindi magkakaroon ng pera at hindi magkakaroon ng trabaho kung walang pera. So, ayun yung cycle pagdating sa ating taxation of law. It's all about the money and who runs the money. Then next, we have the international law. So, international law, it is a body of legal principles, norms, no? Pag sinabi norms, normal, and processes which regulates the relations of states and other international persons or the other organizations and governs their conduct affecting the interests of the international community as a whole. Example, the United Nations Law of the Sea or UNCLOS, and it defines the right and responsibilities of nations in their use of the world oceans. So to make it more clear, so international law, it is a set of rules and principles that guide how countries and international organizations like the United Nations should behave or should cooperate with each other toward uh, toward or to ensure peace, cooperation and fairness in the global community, no? So this law regulates things that affect more than one country. So kung meron man silang batas na pinapatupad, it is not just between your country, it's between your country and another country, in which regulates that can affect one or more country, such as the borders, war trade, the environment, and the use of oceans. So just for example, yung sabi natin kanina, yung UNCLOS, yung United Nations Convention of Law of the Sea. So UNCLOS is the international law. It sets rules on how countries can use the world's ocean, like the fishing rights and marine protection and shipping routes. Again, international law rules between the countries, and it promotes peaceful relation uh, and shared responsibilities between the common interest, and it covers uses like human rights, war, trade, and other oceans. So that is for the international law. So ang ating international law, meron din siya mga branches. So first, we have the public international law, which comprises the rights and duties of the sovereign states toward each other. Then meron din tayong private international law, which compromise the or comprises the rights and duties of the private individuals of these different states towards each other, and mainly involves the questions as to the particular law governing their transactions. So ano ba yung difference between the public law and the international law? So yung difference between the two, this branch, for example, the public international law. So this branch deals with the relationship between the countries. So it defines the right and responsibilities of the nations in how they treat each other. So, for example, treaties between countries, rules about war or agreements on climate change are all part of the public international law. Pagdating naman sa ating private international law, this branch focuses on the disputes between the private individuals or companies from different countries. So it helps us decide which country laws should pay or should apply rather when there are international issues, like in marriage contracts, inheritance involving people from different places. So for example, Filipino marries a American and they got divorced. So the private international law helps decide which country laws apply to their case. Yung mga nakakapag-asawa ng foreigner, so the private international law, which will going to decide kung ano ba yung law na susundin. Kung for example, kung sa American ba or sa Philippines. So that is the private international law. So again, para mas maintindihan natin, public is country versus country. Pag sinabi naman natin private, person between person. So from different countries, no? Tatandaan natin country, pag public, country to country. Pag private naman, person versus person, but from different countries, no? So that is the difference between the public and private international law. Then next, we have the illustration of the difference between the classification of law. So, meron tayong international law, recap tayo, no? And meron tayong municipal law. So, for our international law, it focuses on relationship between the state and international organization. For the word itself, international, and relationship between the state and other countries. Pagdating naman sa municipal law, relationship between individuals and government or state. Then relationship between or among individual themselves. So that is the difference between the classification of law, uh, international law versus municipal law. So again, the legal system of law, common law system, and civil law system, and Mohammedan law system. So again, uh, for that one, the common law system is a legal system that gives great precedential weight to the principle that it makes unfair treat similar facts or differently from different occasions. So it based on a written codified decisions of court cases made by the judges to court throughout the country. So ano nga ba ang common law system? So for the common law system, it is a legal system that mainly based on the past court decisions made by the judges. These decisions are the precedents in which they are followed in the future cases, in which there are similar cases, like they are already been with this kind of case. So there are two cases like the court should make a similar decisions and keeps the law predictable and fair. So just for example, if a court ruled that the breaking certain contract, if there are illegal or the country which have the same decision in future, they cases similar contract. So again, lagi natin tatandaan pagdating sa common law system, based on the judge-made decision, not the written law. Decision ng judge, hindi ko ano yung nakalagay sa batas. And it focuses on the precedent. Similar cases must be treated in a similar way and the common in the countries like the United Nations, United Kingdom, and some parts of the Philippines. Pagdating naman sa civil law system, the civil law system, it is a legal system which allows clearly written and organized into codes. So kung yung kanina based on the judge decision, dito naman is mainly on written. Like there are books or rules that made by the law. So they're only applied with the legal codes and their decisions have served as precedents for the future cases. So, ang tatandaan natin, it is a codified, written down into legal codes or statutes, and judges follow the code and they do not create their new law. So, si judge, sinusundan niya kung ano yung nasa batas. And found in countries like Spain, France, Japan, and other parts of the Philippines. So, again, it is only applied within a written in a legal code. So, that is the civil law system. Then the Mohammedan law system naman, it is a legal system derived from principally from the Quran, no, yung ating mga Islam friends natin dyan, and from the writings of Islamic jurist practice, or applied mostly in the Muslim countries or predominantly Muslim countries. So ano nga ba ang Mohammedan law system? Pagdating dito, it is also known as Islamic law. It is a legal system based on mainly on the Quran, which is the book of Islam, and it is the teachings of the Islamic scholars. So it is used mostly in Muslim and predominantly Muslim countries. So it guides only for the legal matters but also for their personal, social, and religious behavior. So it covers the marriages, the family, and inheritance, business, and also the morality of the people. So in some Muslim countries, inheritance of marriage laws are based on the Islamic techniques and rather than civil codes. So most likely ito yung mga traditions na sinusunod nila. So again, it is based on Quran and their Islamic jurist writings and focuses on religious and legal rules and mostly in Islamic countries like in Saudi Arabia, Iran, and parts of the Philippines like the Bangsamoro. Then ulitin natin, the illustration of the subdivisions of municipal law. We have the municipal law or domestic law. Then it is divided into two, private and public law. When it comes to the private law, we have the law of contracts, law of torts, law of personal property, in which we are tackled earlier. Then pagdating sa public, we have the criminal, administrative, constitutional, and the taxation law. So that is our topic for today, for this week, no? Next meeting, meron tayong panibagong topic and that is the end of our discussion. And after this discussion, no, bibigyan ko kayong time to observe all of the topics that we've been discussed today and wait for my instruction sa ating Google Classroom para kung maglalagay ako doon ng exercises for today or quiz for today. So thank you very much for your listening. If there's a question, you can raise hands during our discussion. Then we are going to entertain all of your questions right after our discussion. So thank you very much and have a good day.